Welcome to this channel where we talk about emotional and spiritual health. I am so excited about today's video, and really it is to encourage you. It is to encourage you not to leave the battlefield. Don't leave the battlefield. What do I mean by that? You know, we've been talking about our soul and what our soul is, and I just want to recap that, in the soul, that's where the battlefield is, okay? Especially in the realm of our mind. So the soul is what houses our emotions, our imaginations, our will, our reasoning. You know, when you think about anything that is so forceful that you don't see, that actually kind of is what controls your life. It is really housed in the soul, in the realm of the soul. For instance, the thoughts, which is in the realm of in your mind. You think with your mind, right? That's where, you are what you think. So the things that are contained in our soul is also important. But also it is where the battlefield occurs. In the mind. You've heard people talk about the battlefield of the mind. And the reason I believe the enemy of our soul fights us in the mind, it's because, that's where we make decisions, when you think about thinking, whatever you think will lead you to a decision. So the enemy is fighting, lying to you, saying you cannot do this, saying you are not enough, you will fail, saying you should give up, saying you should even kill yourself, saying all these things in your mind, okay? But they are all lies. So what happens with most people is that they check out of the battle. They leave the battlefield. What do I mean by this? So many people have left the battlefield by numbing their feelings, their emotions. They don't want to express their emotions. They don't want to talk about it. They don't, they just, they are frozen. That's quitting the battlefield. That's letting the enemy, win over your soul, over your mind, control you. When you ignore, that's one way people do. The other way we know is that people medicate themselves, drug use, alcohol, excessive alcohol use, anything that detaches you, even social media, escaping somewhere, so that you don't have to face the battle. That's how we feel. We leave the battlefield. We don't want to engage with the battle. We don't want to engage to face the fear, to face whatever is going on in the realm of our soul. And just to remind you, the battle you are fighting is already won. Jesus has already won the battle. You have the victory. We are fighting from a position of victory. So why are you fighting? We are fighting just to agree with God, agree with the truth we already know, align ourselves with the truth. That's what we are fighting, just that, fighting the lies of the enemy, not believing him, allowing God to heal our wounds, whatever commotion or whatever upheaval is happening in the soul, Jesus has completed the healing. All we have to do is align ourselves and receive that healing. That's what we are calling the battle. It's just aligning with God and speaking His truth and believing His truth. And that is how we engage in the battle. We don't leave the battlefield. So this is really a short video. I was just coming to encourage you that don't leave the battlefield, and the enemy will cause you to leave the battlefield in ways you don't even know you left the battlefield. He will just distract you. He might even, there are people who leave the battlefield and just chase success. They chase wealth. They chase big. They even go into politics. They chase career, because they are running away. running away from themselves. Remember, we say the soul is that part that is contact with us. That's why the enemy is called is fighting it, fighting for your soul, because it's in contact with you. That's where you feel pain. That's why you get hurt when people say bad stuff about you, when that's where emotional wounds are created. That's where the battle is happening, and the enemy wants you to leave the battle, disengage, so you can go chase wealth, go chase sex, go chase whatever you have to chase. Leave the battlefield alone. That's what the enemy wants. And I'm coming in this video, I'm exposing the enemy. I'm telling you that that's how he works, but don't leave the battlefield. Stay there. Whatever fears you have to confront them. Whatever pain you have to go, process that pain in the presence of God, and you will be healed. And before you know it, as you wait upon God to do all those things, you will be so strengthened, you won't even know it. You wouldn't know, like, how did I get so strong? I've been there, my sister, my brother, whoever is listening. So I know what I'm talking about. I have walked that journey of pain, of loneliness, of people thinking wrong about me, but God eventually vindicates us. So don't leave the battle. And I want to give you 3 reasons why you shouldn't leave the battle. The first one is this battle is not necessarily actually for you. It is connected with so many people in your path of destiny. If you're a parent, maybe you have children. That battle is connected to those children. If you leave the battlefield, if you don't win, it is going to affect your children. They're going to be overcome by the same problems you are overcoming, and you don't want that. You want to win the battle so that you can stop those generational curses, those generational lies right there with you, through confessing the truth. So this is not even about you. Sometimes it's not about you, especially parents. We are fought on behalf of our children, grandchildren. So fight knowing that you are fighting for a bigger cause. People in ministry, I look at what I'm doing today and I'm like, God, I'm so thankful that I didn't leave the battle, because there are many people, fairly many people that watch my videos in TikTok, in workshops, or those people, they might not be as many as I would want them to be, but whoever it is, that whatever I went through, the battles I fought, they're worth it. When I look at my daughters, how beautifully they are coming, my children, they are beautifully getting all healed. I thank God I didn't leave the battle. So don't leave the battle. The other thing is that you have to know that the battle is not going to be there all the time, okay? Whatever you're fighting, it's going to end, okay? And because it is temporal, you're going to win something. Whatever you're fighting for, there is victory on the other side. There is the promises of God on the other side. There is joy on the other side. There is peace on the other side. There is a higher self of you is waiting to. Do you know you are waiting to meet your higher self, a better version of yourself that you've never even thought existed? So don't disengage. Fight so that you can get to the other side. Remember the Israelites, when they were given the promised land, but when they went, they had to fight for it. Why? Because there are enemies that had invaded it. Your soul also has been invaded by fear, has been invaded by wounds, emotional wounds, by trauma. It has been invaded by so many things, so that even you are not able to assess the unconditional love of God. You're not able to assess joy, peace that is for you as a Christian. But don't disengage, because if you disengage, you're going to leave those wounds there, you're going to leave that upheaval there, and I'm telling you, it's going to spill to the next generation. And lastly, and it's the most important thing, is that when we win our battles, we have a testimony that glorifies God. Wouldn't you want to glorify God every day? Every time you win a battle, you're like, look at me, I won this battle. I went through sickness, I went through diseases, I went through foreclosure, I went through divorce, I went through, whatever you went through. I lost a job during COVID, and look at me, I grew stronger, I started a business. I have, whatever victory we get is for the glory of God, and we were created to glorify God, our God. We are here as ambassadors. We are here to be light. So if we are leaving the battlefield, if we are not engaging, if we are just defeated as the rest of the world, how are we going to be a light? How are we going to be ambassadors? How are we going to be co-laborers with God? How are we going to be saying we are seated in the heavenly places, and yet here on earth we are so defeated? So I want you to think about that. And as I end, I just want to ask you to please subscribe to this channel. I bring you tips, they're short videos, and I'm sure that there will be there will be food for the soul for somebody that is looking for this. So thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, share, and leave me a comment. And please remember that you can DM me, and also I'm a life coach. So if you want those services as well, I'm here to serve you. Okay, God bless you.